Garling may be doing exactly what Tywin did with Aerys. Serve the throne for years, rise as high as possible, wait for the moment the regime becomes unstable, and then make sure House Figarland is the one that inherits what's left. That's also what makes the family parallel even crazier. Obviously, Garling is Tywin. Shamrock would be Jaime, the son who stayed inside the system and remains loyal, for the most part, to his father's wishes. Jaime was a Gold Cloak and one of the King's Guard, while Shamrock acts as commander of the God's Knights, likely promoted alongside his father. Shanks would be Tyrion, the alcoholic, outcast fan favorite, hated by his father, who will end up mattering much more than the obedient son ever did. Before we get back into Super Chats, I did want to rattle off this little mini theory that I have. Kind of excited to share this one. It's not too long. Hopefully Larry doesn't think I'm tripping or does an edit for me. But yeah, this one's about Garling and his potential future in the story. So, what if Garling is not Mary Joie's greatest loyalist, but its future traitor? Because the more I look at St. Figarland Garling, the more he feels like One Piece's Tywin Lannister. Think about it. Garling has spent his life rising through the Holy Land's power structure, from a rising upstart eager to showcase his value to the higher-ups by revealing the hidden home of the Davy clan, to competing for glory in the Celestial Dragons hunting competition at God Valley, to becoming the supreme commander of the Holy Knights, and executing Celestial Dragons who falter in their belief that they are gods, to becoming the obvious candidate to replace Saturn as a member of the Gorosei, the highest circle of authority. He is now sitting closer to the center of the world than almost anyone. Meanwhile, Tywin Lannister did the exact same thing in Westeros. He stayed right beside the throne as Hand of the King, not because he loved Aerys, but because proximity to power is power. And when the end came for the Mad King, Tywin switched sides. He waited until Aerys was vulnerable, marched on King's Landing, and got the gates opened, and then sacked the city because betrayal had become more useful than loyalty. Now look at Garling. Emu announces a temporary departure from the Holy Land, and Garling does not feel like a man terrified by that. He isn't panicking over Emu leaving the way the other Gorosei seem to. If anything, he feels like someone fully prepared to operate in that vacuum. In fact, when Emu decides that the Holy Land would be left in their hands during his absence, Garling responded by reminding the other elders that they had no authority to stop their ruler. That can be read as pure obedience on the surface, but in a theory sense, it can also read like a man who is very comfortable operating in that opening that Emu creates. And that matters because of Saturn. Saturn's end strongly suggests that the Gorosei's monstrous longevity is tied directly to Emu's power. As Emu removed Saturn's connection to him, Saturn began to wither away, to decay. It was as if he was no longer being granted eternal life through that connection. Saturn seemed to revert back to what he would have been if he had lived a normal life, just bones. So if Emu falls, or even if his connection weakens, the old guard may share the same fate. Odds are they would not survive if Emu can no longer sustain them. They would decay just like Saturn did. And if the old immortal regime falls, who's left standing? Garling. Yes, Garling is now a member of the Gorosei, but compared to them, he appears to still be in his actual natural age. If Emu died, Garling likely would not be reduced to ash. He would simply go back to being the man he was prior to his promotion. And that's the theory. Garling may be doing exactly what Tywin did with Aerys. Serve the throne for years, rise as high as possible, wait for the moment the regime becomes unstable, and then make sure House Figarland is the one that inherits what's left. That's also what makes the family parallel even crazier. Obviously, Garling is Tywin. Shamrock would be Jaime, the son who stayed inside the system and remains loyal, for the most part, to his father's wishes. Jaime was a Gold Cloak and one of the King's Guard, while Shamrock acts as commander of the God's Knights, likely promoted alongside his father. Shanks would be Tyrion, the alcoholic, outcast fan favorite, hated by his father, who will end up mattering much more than the obedient son ever did. Shanks and Shamrock, like Jaime and Tyrion, are also motherless sons, albeit for very different reasons. Tywin loved Joanna, while Garling likely didn't even remember Magnolia's name before taking her life himself. And there lies the difference between Garling and Tywin to me. Tywin is meticulous and cunning, but ultimately he is still human. Garling feels almost completely void of humanity, which makes true loyalty to Emu feel less and less likely in the end. So what if Garling isn't trying to protect or secure Emu's ideal world? What if he's waiting for the perfect moment to do what Tywin did to the Mad King? Stay loyal until loyalty stops paying, then betray the throne before the throne buries you. That would make Garling not just a celestial dragon, it would make him Mary Joie's Tywin Lannister. As Littlefinger once said, chaos is a ladder, and Garling has seemingly climbed that ladder to a rung just below the very top. People say I glaze Blackbeard, but really, Anyone willing to use chaos to rise is going to be a favorite of mine. And Garling seems to be a true climber. Will he be able to position the Figarland family at the top and take the throne? Or will he end up like Tywin, destroyed by the very son he failed to understand? What y'all think?
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light now. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winners.
Now, Lionel, I know you didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was looking.
So you might not have a real gauge of everything I'm saying right now. But Lawrence, you did. And I'm sure you did as well, Marv. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that one. Do you y'all see Garling as a potential Tywin character?
So it's interesting how you put it, like, for example, because Tywin was, like, scheming in a way, trying to always move forward, like, the entire time. But to this one, it's more like he's capitalizing, not trying to scheme against Emu, because I feel like there's a permanent loyalty, like what we saw with Harold there. You have to be loyal to him, especially how long he's been. There is that there. But it's more like, all right, since Emu's gone now, someone else has to take power. And it's like you're kind of almost like furthering or continuing Emu's reign through you, or what you want to do, your version of it, your vision of it, because it happened. So I can see that different than him like necessarily betraying Emu. Because who else would take power? Emu's in a way to rule for like ever.
Yeah. I mean, even in the way I presented it, it's more like you said, opportunistic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, what if Emu does get taken out, I'm just positioned to take over. And I might want that. I might even advocate for it. I might finesse to make it happen, but it's not outright betrayal in the way that somebody else might. Yeah. Tywin did technically outright betray Aerys, but it was really just because he saw the writing on the wall after Rhaegar got taken out at the Trident. So, Marv, what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he would control from the shadows like Tywin. Yeah, like he'd puppeteer. I think that's the perfect word to call what Tywin was. But yeah, I dig it. Sounds cool.
Yeah, so some very loose parallels I made there. You know, Shanks and Tyrion and Shamrock and Jaime. Maybe, right? That would be cool. I was wondering if they will have a Cersei, like a sister or something. I mentioned Magnolia. I had to look up the girl name because I completely forgot it.
She's only on one panel, right?
yeah she's on, maybe two. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's what we could be headed towards. Because again, if Emu does get taken out, and all the Gorosei go out, I'm all that's left. I would just automatically become the guy, which is just interesting. And I also thought, I was going to add this to the theory too, but like, I feel like we see a change in how aggressive Garling has been over time. Where like, when we first see him, he's like, hey, I want to look good for the bosses. Like, yo, I found this. The Great One will be pleased. And now he's like, yo, listen to my orders, man. Like, he's like strolling in because he's been rising in the ranks. So I could definitely see some of that stuff for Garling. I just don't know if Oda would exactly go that route. Like if he would prefer that Garling is just like a loyal servant to Emu, or if he wants it to be in this way where he's trying to position the Figarland family up. Because if I remember correctly, in that chapter I was referencing, one of the first things that Garling says, like, oh, my son handled that. Like he wants to make it like my family is handling business. So
the only way I could see it is more like Emu has to be taken out the right way. It's not like, oh, we control the world now. It's like, all right, but Garling, because everyone else passes because of it or whatever, but Garling's still alive somehow. So then he tries to like keep fighting, you know, like if that's the case. But then again, but usually, only difference is like Oda's writing. He usually has the other Straw Hats kind of like defeat their enemy before like Luffy's the last. That kind of implies that Garling may be taken out beforehand. You know, Emu and Luffy are the last people standing, or Emu's the last person standing.
The piece that I hated about it the most, to be honest, is that, you know me, I'm a big Shanks gets taken out by Blackbeard guy. Yeah. To me, if we're gonna have Garling have this level of central focus into like the story, if he's gonna be plotting on the throne, then it needs to be some like. Spoilers, sorry for anybody who hasn't actually finished Game of Thrones or whatever, but like Tyrion's the one who takes out Tywin. So it's like, would Shanks be the one who has to do that to handle his situation with his father? Or like, is Shamrock complicit? You know what I mean? Like I was really kind of deciding whether I wanted to go deeper into like what Shamrock's role in all this could be. Is he like actively trying to support this? Is it going to be a fight for the throne between them? You know, but just don't have a lot to work on now. I just saw the parallels a little bit, and then I saw that, you got the two sons, Shanks and Tyrion, outcasts, like they drink a lot. I kind of see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so not too much, very loose parallels, but I definitely saw something.
But you're saying as if like it actually happens. Do you still think it could still possibly like Garling is doing it and like making news, but he doesn't end up betraying Emu, or Emu ends up finding out what Garling's actually doing?
Technically, I would only need like a conversation between Shamrock and Garling to confirm the willingness for this or the game planning for it versus him actually like sitting on the throne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily need him to succeed in this. Like, Tywin technically never sits on the Iron Throne. That's not true either. But he never is the king.
But he controls it.
He controls it.
Yeah.
The Lannister family essentially controls the kingdom. Yeah. Controls the 7 kingdoms at one point. For depending on how long you say the Cersei Robert Baratheon thing is. But, yeah. Like, he runs the kingdom. So I'm wondering if now that Emu's, like, away, like, will he kind of step up in that light? Yeah. Will Emu actually get taken out where it's okay? Yeah, the Figarland family's at the top. The other reason why I don't like it, because the way I implied it is that if Emu loses, all the Gorosei get taken out at the same time. I'd kind of, as crazy as that would be as a moment in the series, I don't like the idea that 6 top tiers just got wiped off the map. Like, what is the series now? Where's the antagonists now, you know? But it would be crazy. You know
and especially when you have like Otis building up, like certain people might be fighting who. Like, clearly Otis, to me, setting up. Again, we could be wrong. We could be wrong because we thought certain things before, like the certain setups. Like, and even now, you thought, all right, Shepard's going to fight Sanji or whatever. Like, because the whole setup, like that, we thought, all right, Zoe's going to fight Ethan Juro. But we also thought Zoe's going to fight Fujitora. Because we thought this trial's going to fight the Admirals. How things change now are just like, all right, what fights are we going to get? Like, the only concrete fights we know we're going to get are Zoe versus Mihawk, like Luffy versus Blackbeard. Like, those are the ones we know. But there's other ones that we're assuming, but we don't, I don't think we might not even get the Admirals versus Straw Hats. Because how Fujitora is with the Marines already and with the world government. So just like, so now, like, yo, bro.
still need that, man.
I don't know, man.
I think it's a possibility you still could get it because the way Fuji is, but he's still allied with them. Yeah. He still follows their orders and everything. And right now, he's still actually hunting the Straw Hats. Like, he can't come back until he brings back, like, what was it, Law and Luffy, was it? Or something like that? He can't come back because Akaino's older. And also, he's just trying to change it from the inside because he sees a need. But he still is repping them. So we still have an avenue for that. It just changed because now we see it would be Fuji versus Zoro still. Who does Green Bull fight?
Honestly, it's going to be either Jinbei or somebody else. Like, with the Straw Hats, because the only person I can think of is Jinbei or Loki or Yamato. That's because like tell us, is it Sanji not fighting Kizaru or am I wrong?
He might. I can see him.
I don't know anymore. I don't. He already crying after taking out like Vegapunk, bro. Like, is he gonna stay 10 toes down and fight? Like, I don't know anymore. Yeah. I've wanted the Admirals versus Straw Hats since forever. I don't know anymore.
He shook up the
dynamic.
Because I know people already thinking Saul was fighting Akainu and you hate that the most.
I never even thought of it. Some people think Dragon may be fighting Akainu. Like, for some reason, because they're the same age.
Do you like that more, or it's...
What? Sure.
All right, it's the same.
It's better than Sabo, bro. F Sabo, bro. Get Sabo out of here, bro.
Because the Ace, I get it now. The Ace thing.
But that's the theory, y'all. Like the stream if you haven't already. We're going to jump back.